Greetings everyone and welcome to Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown, a new city builder set in the fantasy land Nysamor, developed by Sugalo Entertainment and published by Playset Publishing, coming out this year. The game is quite feature rich already, with a massive city you build, armies you create, lots of exploration you can do of your surroundings and expansions. You can play the game solo or up to 4 players in multiplayer and combine trade with RTS combat. This is a sponsored video, and Thrive Heavy Lies the Crown has a demo during Steam Next Fest from February 5th to 12th. Click the link in the video description to check it out on Steam, and be sure to add Thrive to your wishlist for the game's full release. Without further ado, let's start. Alright, before we found our first settlement, we need to decide on a territory, and as you can see, we got the whole of Nysamor over here right away. And the cool thing is you can actually take several territories during your game and then also trade between them and also wage war, of course. And all of these territories have a certain, attributes. So this one here, for example, has very low attractiveness but high hydration. This one here has high attractiveness and low hydration. And all of them also have different resources like apples, flax, herbs and hams. And Maledanu here has a good attractiveness, actually good hydration, has the apples for the food that we need early on, flax, hemp and herb. And I think this is actually our starting territory here. Let's choose a flag. And of course there's a cat, so yeah, that's about my national flag. So let's go ahead and confirm and start in Maledanu. 2 months since the fall of Aldamor, since you gathered up the survivors and set forth towards a new home. Nysamor is the future, a land free from the terrors of the past. Here you will raise up a new kingdom guided by the loyal advisors who form your curia. First of all, we need to decide on what we actually go for here. Wisdom, vigilance, so this is more like defense and army, and also prosperity's pursuit ensures a bountiful future. Let's go for this. And finally, here we are in the game. We have our little caravan here that we can move around a bit. Right, and we can find us a territory. And as you can see, there we are, right? And there's all the other territories around us that we can then also take in. And we'll have to trade with them. There's also some barbarian camps over there. I think this is going to be really cool, right? So that we can actually wage against these camps and also settle on other territories. And then we also get other settlements that are also expanding and building their own kingdom and stuff like that. I think this is a really cool promise there, really. Let's just, find us a space. And I think between all these forests here, we do have a nice open flat land where I can now deploy my caravan. So we're going to set camp here, right? And then we can start with a keep. And the keep is the first very important building. And we can then go ahead and start with the keep, probably towards or with the back to the forest, so a bit protected there, and the land open in front of us. Let's build it. It's going to cost me quite a bit. There's also my subjects, and they're going to start the building. One thing I really love about this game already is that the building process is very detailed. This is always a big plus for me. And we do have the first structure with that. Next up, I would like to start, of course, with a basic economy. And for that, I'm probably going to start over here, that we can set up some things. So the first thing is we need to set up some stockpiles, right? Like a primitive stockpile and also a food storage. So let's go ahead and get us a food storage out there and also a primitive stockpile. This is where we can then store resources. I'm also going to go right in here into this forest area, and we're going to continue then here with a warrior camp. For this, we need to find some resources. So I can see there's lots of stone here, right? We might also be finding lots of stone here, and I think we will just go for this area there, and we can place this camp, and people will then transport these resources over. A logger camp, we have lots of logs here, and I would of course also like to set camp for this one. There's going to be lots of people working in that right away. We can set the range of this one, right? As you can see, the bigger we go, the more things we have then in its area of influence. And we can see the same thing for the logger camp to get more trees in. Of course, traveling takes a bit more time then as well. These are one of the few things that actually don't need a road connection, so I can just keep it like that. These buildings here do need a road connection on this fine day. So we got some 20 people right now. These are our resources that we're starting with. And it's midday, so there's a day and night cycle, of course. And we probably should get started with the first structures then as well. I do need a well. Very important. With the well, we provide water to our surrounding area. And I also will need a wood chopper. And we just will have this behind my primitive stockpiles there, where we can then also start with the firewood production to warm people's houses. But for now, we still need those logs. So things are starting, right? Everybody's transporting their resources. Everybody's having some fun. Hopefully surviving out here. While all of this is happening, we can also have a quick look at the menus up here. So we got the Tomes of Knowledge, right? These are things that we can activate once we have a certain amount of money. Money we get with taxes. And with that, we can then unlock bonuses. We also have Diplomacy. There is unfortunately no real diplomacy yet, because we are basically way too early, right? So we need a few more structures there. And as you can see, we have lots and lots of villages around us. We can trade with them, right, with the whole area that we have. We can also assign edicts like a festival or like taxed food deliveries, and we also can assign our jobs. And this is actually pretty important here. So right now we have 5 builders assigned. They're going to build whenever the resources are ready, like my food storage now. The logger camp is coming up, the food store is now coming up, and of course right now we only have a limited amount of people, so I will need to be very careful already about my job assignments. It's the first night, and in this case we still don't have tents, but that's okay. People will not riot on me right away, right? So happiness is still... Actually, it's not really happy right now, so we probably should provide those tents. For this I need a few more logs. They're coming in though quickly. And all of them here, as we can see, are also simulated, right? So this is not just some asset running around. He's got a name, he's got his own life that he's doing with, and he can also produce his own family. Alright, all of this is done, so let's start with the houses, the farmer houses. We want to have them within the range of the food storage and the well, so water and food is being provided to these guys. And we can then start with the first row of these, right? So this is the front row. And also the back row. There you go. As much space as possible. And let's also get us another road over here then. And I can then actually go ahead and have another row of farmhouses. We do need quite a few of them in the beginning, because we already have some 20 people there. And finally the people are getting their own home. And the next day is dawning. Beautiful. Sun is coming up, and we're still building those tents. As we can see, happiness goes up now with that, since people are getting their own homes. It is this moment that we probably should have a look at the jobs there, because as we can see, the wood chopper, for example, has no one right now, and the well also not. So I would like to reduce the amount of jobs that we have available in the quarry by 2, and also in the logging camp by 2, right? So these people will now be reassigned to the other areas. We do, for example, need someone for the food storages, but not 3 right now. So I'm also going to tone it down to 1. And the same goes with the primitive stockpile to at least 2. And this actually gives me now some jobs here at the wood chopper and at the well, so that we start producing some water. And that's really important, because all of these houses have demands, right? So there's not someone living in that, and we do need to fulfill those demands. And only then do we get bonuses. Like, for example, the tax rate. That's because we have a 10 happiness. And also the territory is spotless. That's great. And no rubble buildings in the territory. So there's no destruction right now. That also makes them happy. Also, their needs are fulfilled for stockpile, food storage, and well. On the firewood I'm working right now. And then we need some apples. And once we have all of this fulfilled, you might have guessed it, we can go ahead and get some better citizens out of these. Because right now we only have farmers. We want to get higher tiers for laborers, for example. Okay, there's the next ones. Do we actually have enough people for all of this? I mean, we do need space to grow, of course, as well, right? So right now, people are rather living alone in that. But of course, soon they will form then families as well. Now, the wood chopper, it's 2. The firewood should be coming in then soon with that. Not yet, but should. And I could then also work now on my orchards. So that's the apples. That's because we have the apple fertility on this map. And of course we need to be careful where we build it, so it definitely needs to be around one of my storages. So over here we could have also then our first orchards. Let's go ahead and do this. Somewhere over there probably. And this is like a good spot for me to have the first orchard. Once again, we need someone working in that at least. So let's also turn it down on the water. We don't need 2 people working on the water. And this is then redirecting one now. Lorian. And Lorian is going over producing us apples. And also the last farmhouses are being constructed now. We can always speed up time as well, up to 3 times. As we can see, the firewood is coming in now. This will make people even happier. There it is. And as we can see, people are now also living together. And a little bit later, we get the first harvest out of it already. Well, the trees are still growing, but already producing apples. That's great. And with that, we have also then the last need fulfilled. There's also luxury needs like hemp, clothing, and cider. Cider, of course, comes out of the apples. So this is an advanced product then. And then also the hemp clothing. For that, we, however, need hemp farms first. We could actually build that already. I don't have the workforce really per se, but let's go ahead and do this. And I'm probably going to start with a hemp farm then over here, if that is possible. Unfortunately, that logging camp is in the way. There you go. We can always move these camps a bit further away if I want to. Deeper into the forest there, for example. I just need someone for this now. Logs are coming in rather quickly, so let's actually reduce this amount. Workforce is really the hardest part right now. And there we have a farmer now producing hemp for us as well. For the hemp clothing then. Great. And with high happiness comes high schooly pooping. We have the first newborns. And in this case here, 21 people we have now, up from 20. And we also get the first taxes in. So my wealth is growing. We do have, though, maintenance costs to pay, and that's 15. So leading to a total amount of 21 surplus right now. And with those taxes, as we've already joined earlier, we can actually also issue edicts and other things. Alright, 2 more people joined my colony. That's also great, so we are growing nicely. Of course, they join if I have available space, and I think we might actually already be running out of space. Interesting thing. Because of that fast growth. Yeah, with that we have enough materials. I could actually just go ahead and build me some more farmhouses. Another block here. And more people join my colony. It's getting quick. Fast growth there now. By now the apple orchards are also working. And looking truly amazing there with the sunlight coming in. Beautiful lighting. And we also start the Act 1. An event has started. The foundations of his settlement have been laid out, but much must be done to encourage its growth. Your Curia, a small group of advisors, will help you find your way. Chancellor Bodhi Declan and Duke Donovan Stanton are those who remain from the fallen King's Curia. So Ossian Hayward, a trusted knight and friend, has been added to the round of the group as well. There they are. Hey, there, you sexy face. The solution is easily found, Your Majesty. Without our people, we would not have come this far. It's true that we've overcome much. The tragedies of the past are but a few steps behind us. This is why we should focus on securing and protecting what we're starting here. And both reasonable positions. And then there's also the Duke Donovan. Reasonable to be certain, yet both overlooking that which most reliable maintains and grows a kingdom, its coffers. Of course, it's pretty clear what stance they all have. And we need to decide once again who's right here. And we can go for safety first right now. I think that's actually pretty important. I don't know if there's an imminent threat, so we could also choose coin over citizens. Nah. Let's go for safety first above all else. So we are still unfamiliar with this land. As such, we must remain on guard and procure the means to defend and fortify our fledgling kingdom. I totally agree with that. I'll never question your desire to protect Hayward, but we must first secure the settlement's wealth. You're both mistaken. If I may, Your Highness, Hayward's request may create tension with the locals, and the Duke's, well, now isn't the time to be contemplating coin. We must establish a sense of community first. And I agree, Sir Hayward. Let's go ahead with him too. And with that, we get wooden fences for our first defense. I don't see how anyone would be offended if I build my own fortifications. I'm not going for war yet. 32 people, holy cow. With that, we can actually increase now my production all around again, right? So especially here, hemp, the apple orchards are now working fully. And as we can see, we have now everything in. And with that money coming in, we can actually now start with the first upgrades. We need to, for example, in tier 1 where we are right now, we can also unlock wheat and coal. And we need to unlock at least 2 upgrades to advance to tier 2, right? And we can, for example, go with unlock the stockpile. We can also go ahead and say that we want to, for example, increase the efficiency of the farmhouses, I guess, right? Either by decrease the cost of it, or well-built farmhouses will raise farmer happiness by 5. But the building requires double building resource cost, which is fine. It's only wood and stones. Let's go ahead and have this one here upgraded. And that's being researched now. And it's going to take a while to finish. So that's also a really nice feature. Unlocking more and more game mechanics as we progress. And the game is really, really complex and big, right? So it's nice that it comes step by step. I'm building another row of houses here right now because first of all demand is pretty high for that, and also we want to unlock more structures. So with 40 farmers we get the lumber yard, the fermenter and the outfitter, right, for also then my clothing that I want to have, and we already have the hemp in for this. So that's all industry that I would like to have. 39 people, more join and more are being born. What I can see though is that we might not have enough apples. So this is actually a problem. I will need to build another orchard. And in this case here, let's have it, perhaps we can squeeze it in over there behind my keep. Perfect. Because I definitely want to get more apples out of this. There they have been built. One more person we need for a nice juicy upgrade. And once again, most of these houses are full. And in that case, we have more space now available, right? Because we have more needs fulfilled. So we can raise our housing limit with that. And there we have it, past 40, and with that we have the fermenter and the lumberyard. The lumberyard is super important because this unlocks planks for us that we can then use. So let's go ahead and have this industrial building right away somewhere here then, in my industry zone. We also have the outfitter to produce clothing for us, and I would also like to have this one really close there to my main area. So let's also have this somewhere over here. Perfect. And the fermenter produces cider out of apples. That's also a building that I would like to have, and we can have it just here by the orchards. 3 major new buildings. How's my jobs looking, by the way, right now? 12 unemployed people. So in this case, yes, workforce is ready for it. Another thing we can do is we can move the caravan, right? So I can pack it up again. There it is. And move it a bit further away. Right? So where we don't really have it. And then I can actually deploy it there again. With that, I think we might then actually be able to move to other areas of the game, but that's for later. So let's also make this block finished, so we could have more buildings here now. There's the lumberyard. Lots of people it can employ. And here we would then have now the plank production up and running. Lovely building. And we're still at the basic level of the game, right? So we're just about to unlock the labor structures now. And look at that, there's more tiers then coming up as well. Alright, so I guess for these buildings here, no, they just require wood and stone. So we have everything for that in. So these constructions should be on the way now, since we also have enough people assigned as builders. Yeah, it's really just a lot of materials, especially the 100 hemp that took quite some time to get over. And there we have now a new structure. I love that. Beautiful, right? Very detailed. As it's coming along. And that's the outfitter. 3 people. And they produce now hemp for my people. And that's a luxury good, right? So this will make people especially happy. And now we work on the fermenter. Just a bit more of stone. There it is. And this is also now coming along. I could watch this all day. Also more money coming in. 200 on the wealth we have right now. That's great. And there is now the fermenter. 3 people work on that, producing cider out of water, apples and firewood. So this actually needs quite a lot of input already. Whereas this one only needs hemps, right? Or hemp. So that's not that hard to get. Especially since we have lots of hemp. I think I will need now to assign also more people to the stockpiles again. So that we deliver resources faster. I think there is a sign here already that tells me it might not be fast enough. Yeah, stockpile is overworked. Right, so there's definitely an overload here of tasks right now. And can we actually build a bridge? Yeah, perfect. A road there to finish this block there as well. Those resources are coming in, making my people more happy, getting more taxes in, more upgrades, and then at some point now, the labor structures. So this is a preview of Thrive, Heavy Lies the Crown. The demo is online right now and you can try it out yourself, so don't forget to check out the link in the video description. It offers up to 10 hours of gameplay already if you're interested in that. So this should be for a nice rainy weekend. A lovely game indeed, offers lots of complexity, lots of promise there, and I can't wait for the full release. Thanks for watching. Cheers!